Hi everyone, it's Kino here. Welcome to this Accessible Ashtanga course. This is a tutorial to illustrate how to adapt Parsvakonasana B, which is quite a challenging twisting pose from the standing series of Ashtanga Yoga. And when we think about adapting this pose, there are a couple of important things to consider. The first of which is whether or not your feet are comfortably able to reach the ground. If not, you'll have to put a block in place. The second thing to consider is whether or not it is advisable or feasible to actually get up out of the chair. So we'll go over an option, first of all, for an individual who might be chair-bound, not able to get up from the chair. So Parsvakonasana B involves twisting, hip closure, or closing the hip joint, and lunge position, or a long position with the legs. Usually, a good amount of balance is involved in Parsvakonasana B as well. So by using the chair, we will still be working the fundamental principles of Parsvakonasana B. Let's get started. Now, I placed a block on the outside of the chair because I know that my feet don't comfortably reach the ground. So now, to work with this pose, first I'm going to get into a relatively comfortable lunge position. So that means I'll slide my butt a little bit on the seat of the chair and reach back. Holding on to the backrest, then we can explore the second key principle of Parsvakonasana B, which is closing the front of the hip. And someone who's going to be bound in a chair will probably not be able to close the hip too much more than this. So when we think about taking the hip from a 90-degree angle, lessening that angle to a 45-degree angle between the torso and the thigh, we're beginning to work the foundational principles of Parsvakonasana B. Now, to think about the last key element after we have the lunge, the hip closing, then the twisting action. It might be tempting to hold on to the backrest and try to force a twist, but I don't recommend that. Instead, we can drop the right shoulder down and then just lightly look over towards the right side. And this will allow a relatively accessible spinal twist without forcing things too much in the upper body. Now, we're still trying to close the twist, meaning we're still trying to keep the front of the right hip joint closed and keep the foundation of the posture. Let's go over another variation of what might work in Parsvakonasana B. And this next variation, this will be an open twist. I'm still going to be using the block. I'm still going to be using the foundation of the lunge. So as much as possible, we're getting the lunge position with the hips square. There are other variations of this pose with the back heel down, but for the chair variation of this posture, I don't recommend that you work with that. So for someone that might not be able to close the hip joint, for example, if there's a student that has a total hip replacement or arthritis in the hip joint and they're not able to fold forward more than 90 degrees, we want to eliminate the hip flexion from the posture, but keep both the lunge and the spinal twist. And in this case, we can think about an open twist, so we can extend the arms open and then twist over to the side. And I don't recommend you try to do too much, just moving from a forward position to slightly deviated off the center line. If you try to push too much, you might actually force them to fall off the chair, which for someone who would be chair-bound, that would be a bit of a struggle to get back up and may even be harmful. Just explore kind of how that open twist position allows you to work the pose. And I'll just do that one more time. And then if there's any stress, we can always rest the back hand on the backrest, but remembering not to pull or force yourself into the twisting position with the force of the chair. Let's come on back into the center. Then let's explore one other variation of Parsvakonasana. So let's say now, I'm going to remove the block, but we're still going to be working with the chair. So let's say that we are able to get up from the chair, but it's a little bit hard still to get up and down from the floor. So we might want to use the chair a little bit forward so that we can think about stepping out to the side, placing the hands on the chair, pivoting forward, and then exhale, putting the knee on the ground. This option will allow you to open twist without the worry of needing to balance. We could even explore resting the head all the way down on the chair if closing the hip is accessible. And then another option from here, although we may or may not need the chair for support, would be to place the hands in prayer as we look over to the side. This causes more balance work in the body, so if someone's not ready for that, that open twist is the best option. To come out of the pose, both hands on the chair, and then we can step the legs together. For someone using a chair as assistance for balance, we don't necessarily need to follow the traditional vinyasa and switch the sides. Otherwise, we're just going to be moving the chair around. So to make that just a little bit more accessible, we're holding onto the chair to switch the sides, and then taking a relatively wide stance, placing one hand on the backrest, and then open twist. Exploring some other options, we could even take hands in prayer with an elbow on the chair. I really encourage you to just keep thinking about options that really get to the essential nature of the pose. So we can get that forward fold, we can even think about a more closed twist with the arm extended, the arm reached overhead, using the chair as a nice resting point. Then we can find the way all the way back up, using, again, the chair for a good point of balance. Remember, when you're working with accessibility, that the key is to find a variation where the student, or yourself as the student, can work the essential teachings of the yoga asana. So in other words, you're aiming to find your tapas and aiming to facilitate that internal fire of purification. We're not trying to make the pose easy, we're trying to make the pose accessible. So bear in mind that key distinction. And I encourage you to be creative and think of other options that would help assist whoever steps onto the mat to be able to do the actual work of the yoga practice. Thanks so much for joining me on this accessible Ashtanga tutorial. I hope you find the keys and the inspiration to keep practicing.